Hello, hello. All right. Got a decent amount of stuff to do today. So yesterday, I was trying to remember exactly what I did off stream. I think all I really did was add in lighting to the spawn areas, and I corrected the pitch of the bridges for when the match starts. Today, we're going to be doing multiplayer testing to make sure that like all the events are triggering correctly, everything is synced up. To be honest with you, like, it should be. I think the only thing that wouldn't be synced up is the... Hold on 1 second here. Maybe like the main event, but I mean, that's pretty easy to correct. We just got to find the player's ping and essentially make up for the loss of time between the RPC call and when it actually goes off. Another thing is RVT seems to also not like multiplayer. You can see the textures are like really bad. So I gotta look into that and see what's causing that problem. It might have something to do with running like multiple clients. I don't know. Oh, also, the other character, when it like stops, kind of sinks into the floor a bit. I think that's from our whatchamacallit. I think it's fabric. So we have like our feet that like adjust on like slopes and stuff. And I think what it's doing is it's correcting our character's position based off of that. So when we're moving, fabric is off, but when we stop moving, we sink into the floor like that. So it's just like the little things that just need to be polished. Nothing crazy. I'm more concerned with how teams are actually being applied. So we basically took a copy and paste of our arena map and how like the rounds are structured there and moved it to a new shell, which is this map. All that works great, but I found a couple bugs with our game mode in doing this process. So I just gotta correct those, and it should actually fix itself on the other game mode as well. Where a character dies, I actually want to look for this here. This initialized team data is what I want. Yeah, so look. So the way teams work, or at least how I have it set up right now, is in debug mode, there isn't anything assigned to them because teams get assigned during the lobby process. And since we're going directly into the game itself, music down just a little bit here. The team IDs aren't getting properly assigned, but for some reason it's pulling 1 as the team ID. So I kind of have to chase this down and find out where it's getting that info from. So during prep period, it looks like. Alright, am I dressed like a moldy sponge? I wouldn't say moldy. You could also be high. Yeah, so what's happening here? That hat and your skin really makes the mold stick out. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think this is a freshly washed. The thing is, post login should actually change the team ID. Ugh, I wouldn't do that. If you think it's mold, that's gross. Fuck, I didn't mean to clear it. Yeah, this right here. Team ID is 1. Post login, new player, get player state, valid. So in post login it's doing this? Gotta check this. Ugh. Let's print out what the current team is. How's your game coming, by the way? Don't forget to work on it at least like once a day. Just be consistent with it. The moment you give up or stop is the day you'll probably never touch it again. Yeah, so something's definitely off about the RVT. I gotta look into it and see if it's something with multiple clients running on the same computer. Could be eating into the memory pool. Yep, grabs all that. This is only a problem inside of debugging, not the actual game. But I do want to solve it because I want my data to be correct. Whether I'm testing a build or in the editor. Make your own online texting? There you go. See what we got here. Yeah, 255. And 1. I am curious to see where it's getting 1 from. My player state. Oh, is this it here? No, no way. I mean, we can check by doing this. It's got to convert text to numbers. I wish YouTube chat didn't have this thing in the fucking corner. Covers like half the text. Text to numbers, which are... Holy crap. Okay. Text to numbers which are sent and sent back and decoded back. Text and numbers which are sent and sent back and decoded back. That's above my pay grade. Yeah, so the reason this is a problem is a lot of our code runs off of indices and the numbers. Yeah, so this looks like it's it right here actually. Lowest team size ID. Yeah, this is the problem right here. So equals teams I, which teams is T array. How the hell did I do it like this? So I'm checking here to see if there's even a team available. That's what this means. And what this is doing okay. Current team +1. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I wrote or why I wrote it this way. There's got to be a reason that I put a +1 here. Don't send text like DMing. This is going to have as many people in one chat as are in a server. You can't server max. That sounds intense. Lowest team size ID. I'm trying to think why the hell I wrote it like this. And what this would even be affecting. So this is just a T array of UN8s. The UN8s represent the team number itself. Current team +1. I don't know why. Oh, wait a minute. No, that doesn't make sense. Oh, size of the array. Okay. No, this makes more, a little bit more sense. Ah, okay. The index that Teams is currently on represents the actual team ID, which is why we have current team here. And then we're adding to the UN8, which is keeping track of the current amount of players on that team. Okay. So this is team 0, right? The lowest team size ID yeah, I see exactly where we're going wrong here. I'm pretty sure. This is supposed to just store the ID of the team, right? But what it's actually doing is it's storing the amount of players. So this integer is actually poorly misrepresenting what it's actually doing. This is more so like we also could make, I mean, actually, it doesn't matter too much. So we would set this to I, because I represents the index, the current team that we're looking at. Yeah. That should correct, I mean, that should be a domino effect where it corrects everything and fixes all of the problems we're having with the scoreboard. It's going to take me a short while. The server part is simple. Just make them randomly put their recent text into an online variable. You can tell the player with their ID which which you can see when a text is sent. But here's the beauty of cybersecurity is spoofing. What if they spoof another person's ID? That means that they can get in and read all of their messages, theoretically. Yeah, there we go. It fixed everything, I believe. Would be a tab. Yeah, I mean, there's only Team 0 in the lobby right now. We should make autofill. That would greatly help testing as well. So if they don't have an ID like set to them, let's say they like join in progress, we need autofill. The way you can tell if they join in progress would be if their team ID is 255, because that 255 is the technical maximum that a UN8 can be, which is what this get generic team ID runs off of. So if they have 255 as their team ID, then we'll autofill them. How do we want to do that? Wrote in Scratch. All of it gets deleted when you... Oh, okay, you're doing it in Scratch. I got it. Got it. Okay, that makes more sense. I got you. Okay. So if they're 255, we don't want to auto set them to 0 like that. How do we want to do this? Maybe 255 just skips this. Yeah, I apologize. I wrote this specific code way back when we were making the first arena map, I think the beginning of March or something. So I'm kind of just rereading a little bit of this shit that I unfortunately didn't write comments for. And just going through what my thought process was in writing it this way, which I can see part of it, but some things just don't make sense for what we're doing currently, so I might rewrite a couple things, one of them being autofill. Because we're doing this right here, where we have this array. But this is a temporary thing. It's not like this is a member variable that the game mode's actually keeping tabs on. And it's only submitting one player state into this function. Am I iterating over... Oh, okay, player array. Never mind, here it is. I missed this. Okay, so for each player, it's doing this. Where is this being called? Is this for people that join? Yeah, okay, post login, they join. It calls this function. Okay, so I did make a function with the intent of someone joining mid-match. And this is what it's supposed to be. And it checks if they're in prep round, it will spawn them in. But the round started, they get put as a spectator until the next round. And I guess what this is doing is it's just grabbing all the players and checking to see what their teams are. And this will put them on the lowest size team, actually. Now the problem with that is we don't want to check against our own player because we currently don't have a team. So for a player that joins, we actually want to skip them. Actually not return. So if it reaches this point, it'll just skip over this iteration of the call. Because we don't want to count this player. The first thought that goes through my head with this is, okay, what if it's not this player, but there's another player in the lobby right now that is currently a spectator and doesn't have a team set. They'll technically have 255 as theirs, like as their current team. So we actually would want to skip both of those players then. But we could probably add just an OR into this. I'd store also, and also the idea, or the idea is way to teleport players of your text and others' text. Your ID is stored when you load up the game, like that. It's okay. Public chat, basically when you read players' ID, their text. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, if it's all made in Scratch, then like you got nothing to worry about anyways. It's all pretty much protected. Yeah, so we'll just take this and skip it then. And for debugging, I just want to know when we skip here. Here we go. So what do we got? Current team 255, players skipped. Current team 255, players skipped. So that's also another problem here. And this one is only going to happen inside the editor. Well, it should at least. If they have no prior team made. What's happening is, in the editor, since we're not going through our lobby system to assign teams beforehand and then have that information copied over, we're joining the game with this unset ID, and there's no teams made at all. So since I can't find any teams made, it's just skipping. So what we can probably do is, if there is no valid index, we can probably just make one. So we'll account for no teams being made, but the players that joined don't have an ID set. So if 0 isn't a valid index, then technically the players should be assigned to Team 0. Like that. So if no teams are made, they join during a match. It just creates a team and assigns it to them. What's up? See, there we go. Works. Now the problem is, we also have to account for, there's only 2 players in a match. We don't want them both on the same team. Let's jump into that too. Okay. So this is where we would have to do this, I believe. We'd have to check and see if there's only one team. So if there's only one team in the lobby, then we would just put these guys on team 2, or the other team. I don't think we're going to hit an instance where they join, and let's say there's Team 0 and Team 1, right? If Team 0 leaves and it's only Team 1 remaining and somebody joins, with this strategy, what's going to happen is, since we're only looking for what the current number of teams in the lobby is, and we're not going off of the actual numbers themselves, this method would just assign them to Team 1 instead of the actual lowest population team. Which is bad, obviously. Yeah, I think how I'm doing the team assignment isn't great. There was light of lightning every 0.25 seconds. That's fucking crazy. There's a lot of lightning. Alright, how do we account for this? So, I mean, the way we're doing it here is we're checking to see if the current team is not valid. And if it's not, then we just increase this array up to that number of teams, right? So that means what it's doing is it's creating a bunch of empty U and 8, so all of them pretty much is equal 0 or 255. I think they're all set to 0. So we just got to check and see which one has more than 0. And we'll just assign the person to a team that has 0 members on the team. Sorry, I'm just like thinking pretty hard about this because I think I understand what to do here. But I'm just thinking of like the outside cases that could really be a problem in the future for this. And I'm trying to talk about it out loud, but I feel like my brain moves faster than my words do coming out. Dude, that's a lot of rain. Holy shit. Team 0 is a valid index. We do that. I guess this would be just like an edge case. So maybe we just check it here. But we do want to check to see. No, this actually should work. If team's valid index 0 and the amount of teams is only 1, then we can just set this to be basically team 2. That's what this would mean. Or like the other team. I'm gonna make a note for my future self here. But we only want to do this no, it shouldn't matter. Oh no, it actually does. We want to check their current team ID as well to make sure. that they don't have anything assigned to them. If we didn't do it like this, it would just not even check to see if they were in the lobby beforehand and if they had a team picked out for them. We really only want to do this if someone's joining a match that already started and there's only one other team in the lobby. That's what this is. Is that num? Pulls out the that's a lot of text. Teams.num equal 1 confirms that the only team or the only other team in the lobby is assigned team ID 0. Then we can return. Actually, if 0 is a valid index, then we know team 0 exists. And if there's only one team in the lobby, that means team 0 is the only team in the lobby. So we can set this player to be part of the team 1. Yeah. The world is in shambles. Let's see here. The place in front of my house had a layer of water 5 inches tall covering the entire road. Because of all this rain, trees and plants are growing. Okay, I see what you're saying now. Alternate teams. There we go. We have another problem. There's a 15-second marker on my client window for some reason. Also, sudden death didn't kick in for the client. Oh, it's because it doesn't see it as a local player controller. can't remember why I tested for that. There is a way better way to do this, actually. Close out of that. You guess the world is practically over already? It is if you believe it. Okay. The thing is, we only want to apply one stack of this to a player. In the editor, there's only going to be like one local player technically. So I mean, like, this would work in builds. But I'm really striving to create a test environment that allows both editor and builds to mimic one another. World War III. Hopefully it doesn't come down to that. I wonder how many times this is going to apply. I think this is a multicasted function. But again, I wrote this like almost 2 months ago at this point. Hey, I respect whatever people believe in. Me? I'm just a game developer. Sudden death should kick in now. Yeah, so it looks like the client had an extra tick happen, meaning that it probably double applied. So I mean, we can just check to see if the player has that effect. It says optional instigator filter component. It says optional, but doesn't have a default parameter in it, so if specified, only count effects applied by this ability system component. Yeah, again, it's not really optional. You have to kind of put something there. If it's less than 1, we'll do this. And we can actually get rid of this. Believe it or not, this is actually faster than trying to check the net modes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with the RVT shit. Gotta be something with running multiple clients. Only a matter of time till it happens. Hey, depends on what you believe in, you know? I believe after death, I'll be a happy little tree in a forest somewhere. And then someone will come down, cut me up, and turn me into paper at a sawmill or some shit. Yeah, it's just that extra tick of damage. It's actually not even noticing that we have another stack of this effect on our character. Sudden death should kick in. Yeah, look at that. Count 0. Meaning that it is not replicated. Just, I mean, technically it should be. No? Good. There's also a possibility that it's happening so quick that the data can't replicate fast enough. Because there is a delay with like on-rep functions. That's my best guess. Alright, we'll just go back to how we were doing it before. VS Code? I swear to fucking God, do it one more time. I will lose my shit. You bastard. That was fucking close. See how it like unhighlighted right there for me? So it like baits me into pressing fucking tab or enter. And then I just go to the next line. Holy shit. Yeah, sometimes I threaten my development environment that I will switch to Rider if it keeps doing this shit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Please, Mike. What? What's up? Sorry. I'm not joining any team. At that point, it's a free-for-all. It double applied. That's weird though. It doesn't actually show that I have the sudden death tag. I don't see it. Obliterated in a free-for-all? Hey, if that's how it goes, that's how it goes. Yeah, I was born and raised Catholic, but it's not something I really follow too much anymore. I don't know, religion is man, it's always a really bad topic to talk about, but I will say one thing about it is it gives something, or it gives people something to believe in, which is totally cool with me. I get it. It's just not something I follow that well. I mean, I used to when I was like a kid. Not anymore though. Oh, that's another thing I gotta check. Round restarts. I think, yeah, okay, it worked. It's every man for himself at that point. I'm gonna hunker down, get a subscription to Starlink, and hopefully the internet stays up long enough for me to push my git commits to GitHub. I actually want to see where this is getting called. Oh, actually, these might be getting found twice. What is it? Add unique hue objects? I think you can only do that with the other form delegate, but we can check to see if this is bound. Let's see if this is getting bound twice to this object or not. And if it is, then we know the other ones are, and that's the cause of our problem here. Chance of entering heaven? Hey, again, it's what you believe in, man. Not much I really want to say on the topic of religion, though. Again, I don't know shit. I just know how to code and make dope shit. mean, we know that our game cycle works though, because it brought us back to spawn, or the lobby. That's cool. I do want to check out the auto balancer though, and put that into the game. And I think I want to auto balance teams per round, possibly. I don't know. I can make that a setting. Does not look like it is trying to double bind, which doesn't make sense actually. Well, yeah, technically it does. This kind of shit, we want to make sure that it's the actual player. Oh, my brain is like turning off. Jesus Christ. The net mode is higher than client. There's definitely a couple different ways to test out if a the player is actually a player or it's like a simulated proxy. This is typically the most reliable one that I found, but it is a little bit slower to do so. All right, so we have these bound like that. Now, temporarily, let's take this out. See if this works. Okay. So what we're looking for right now is if our timers work on our client and server. And when I say timers, I mean when this time expires at the top here, both of these should get a ticking dot. Ah, look at that. It did not. Now it says it got applied. But I think it's lying to us. I think, man, this is tough. We may only need the server to apply this stuff. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot better. Sort of. This one's taking an additional tick. Yeah, if you look, this one took like 3 hits before we move this up to 3 clients. See what happens. Yeah, it's like the listen server actually only takes 1 tick of damage in the beginning. The other 2 take a an additional. I wonder if that's like a prediction thing. Yeah, so this is also within our player state class. Execute periodic effect on application. Let's turn that off and see if it actually works. There's a lot of code I gotta go back and clean up. Luckily, all the code is reusable. So whenever I fix something, it'll fix it on all the other maps as well. Yeah, look at that. Server is 1 tick behind. Luckily, it looks like our auto join feature is working, or auto assign team. Yeah, that's weird. That gives the server such a massive advantage. So I gotta look into what's causing that. Okay. So, I mean, we know like all that works pretty well. Just that weird tick damage thing. But I mean, like the rounds work, kills work, the bridge timing works, all that shit. One thing that I noticed was there's like a timer or something that gets stuck on the player's screen occasionally. It's not always. Maybe it's like later rounds that it happens. Now see that 15? Where the fuck is that coming from? Gotta be something in the player controller, yeah. Or actually... what is all this? Yeah, this is from when we... used our old system. Oh god, so much code to delete. But this is all old shit. I'm going to open up the blueprint and see where that is, so we can figure out what's causing it. There is... make sure this is the correct one. It's not something located on this one. Alert widget, is this it? Definitely not that. Where the fuck would that 15 be coming from? Gotta be something from way before. Damn. I could use the UI debugger and find it that way. I really want to say it's this announcement widget. Warm-up time. This. Gotta be this shit, right? I have a feeling this is what's causing that. $15. There it is. Where are you being called from? Seconds left. Thing is, this is only being called, or this is only happening sometimes, not all the time. which is really weird. But you gotta love Delta time. I think that was the problem right here. If countdown time is less than 0, probably less than or equal to. Nope, look at that. These little 15s. Where is it getting 15 from, though? If you look, we're sending 0. Not like this can be manipulated like that. Yeah, this is only called in one place. Right here. Seconds left. Which gets passed through. And it somehow comes up with 15. Hey, what's up? Doing good, how are you? Yeah, look how random this is. That's fine, that's fine. Seconds left, 0. Initial countdown time, 15 seconds. But seconds left was 0. How's the stream going? It's a typical day in the office. Just slamming my head against the wall. Where am I from? United States. I mean, this is not gonna have any effect on this shit. Do I stream daily? If I have stuff to show, yeah. But if I'm testing things out, typically no. And this warm-up time thing is killing me. Just want to know where it's getting 15 from. Like, why that number? You know what I mean? Maybe something happens to seconds left when it reaches that point in tick, right? I just want to try this out and see if this works. Super crazy artwork. I probably don't have time to look at it, to be honest with you. I got deadlines. But art is always cool. Still 15. Look at that shit. Can you have my Discord? Nah, I don't give that out for free. Actually, I wouldn't even give it out if he paid me, to be honest with you. Isn't that crazy? Look at that shit. I'm gonna put this afterwards. This is actually kind of like a little experiment for myself at this point. Wait a minute. Is anything else messing with warm-up time? That's actually something I did not check. No, it's only this that I can see. 12. I know this naming convention isn't too great. But I just want to see something. So weird. I mean, shit, I'll take this into debugger if I have to. Do I want to? Not really. But will I? Yeah. Seconds. And somehow it gets 15. Wait, what the fuck? Honestly, I'm just going to look for less than 1. Fuck, what a bug. It's not a bug, it's just a misunderstanding. There's something that I'm missing. Let's actually see how accurate this is. Is it? I mean, shit. The only the only other thing I can think of is we're converting a UN32 to a float. Is that causing a problem? I just never seen a conversion just get hard locked on such a random number like that. So, gotta change all these to eyes for printing anything. Oh, also, seconds left is a... Hold on. I was actually comparing a UN32 to a float. Wow, well, I don't know why I thought this was a float. I mean, shit, we're even lowering it. This kind of changes things a little bit. Hmm. Yeah, it's that conversion. That's fucking crazy. Let's get rid of this now and see if it stops doing that shit. What I'm gonna do is print out 2 versions of this shit. Yeah, it's crazy that that was the reason. Oh, yeah. No, okay. Holy sh... I just don't know where the fuck it gets 15 from. Zero seconds left. So that's here. And this is after this function call, mind you. It says that seconds left is 0, but passing it into this, we get 15. I'm gonna recompile real quick. And go fill up my water while it's doing that. I'll be back in just a second. Wait, what the fuck? What is this doing? That's happening the same exact instance as our countdown. The countdown's on a tick. This is not. Which may explain this problem. God, what a weird fucking issue, right? Thank God I put these logs in like this. Holy fuck. So there's a couple ways to get around this shit. One of them, fuck is. I just gotta get to that warm-up thing again. Here you are. Yeah, so set HUD time is called in tick. So what's happening, or from what I'm seeing, and this kind of makes sense, is this set HUD time is basically queued up to be called the exact moment that this function's happening. And that must be causing a problem here. Interesting. So, what we can do is probably call this early. UN32. We're going to use the version of time that isn't floored, or in this case, rounded up. So time left is less than, we'll do less than 0.25, I guess. We'll just set it to 0. I think what's going to happen though is we still run into the problem of the function here being called on tick. So once this is set to 0, we probably don't want to call it again. or we don't want this in particular to be called again. How to prevent that? I don't want to use booleans or anything. Or we can do something in round preparation instead. We have this bool right here. Maybe we can use this. Wait a minute. The fuck? Oh yeah, this is not just updating warm-up time, this is updating all of our other HUD. Our other HUD stuff. Yeah, this is tricky. There's a lot tied to that. We could also do something where if it's not preparation, or if it's not the prep round, we just don't even touch the countdown. See if this works. Fucker. There's like a very specific reason that this is set at the very bottom here. I think this is also used to regulate our rounds. Oh shit, wait a minute. I'm going to be applying for a Steam app ID soon. Using the developer one is becoming a hassle. So I'm going to fork over the $100 and just get it approved on Steam. Now we don't have that fucking 15-second shit anymore. I'm gonna try it again, because it is based off of tick. Looks like we're clean. Were we getting our countdown? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, okay. Nice. Jesus. See if this actually works without that that capture, the floor at the 0 for us. Just want to see if it works with seconds left. Looks like it. Was it just me, or did one of the bridges not actually work? No, we're good. Yeah, they just get reset. Oh, that's another fucking thing. I gotta have the bridges reset back to their original position on round end. So I gotta have a cleanup process for the map. I don't think I have these tied to anything. Yeah, just actors. Oh, this is okay. So this is going to be weird. We'd basically have to reset the geometry collection. I don't think I've actually ever reset this before. I wonder if they just have a built-in function for it. I didn't actually think about this. Let's be smart here. No way. Lied to me. The documentation said it had a reset function. View geometry collection reset. Oh, this is a geometry collection component. Ah, okay, so we want to grab the component of, or the object from this geometry collection. I'm just gonna look and see if there's any built-in functions for that. Has sockets, blah blah. Impulse force, local bounds. We don't care about all this shit. We just care about getters. Maybe it's force inlined. Get all physical objects. You know, it would be a million times easier if they just had a single function to reset this. Hash parameters. Okay. Can also be specified to reset the dynamic collection. So if that means what I think it does, then this is what we need. Components edit updates. Override indicating the overall shape of the geometry and clusters is unchanged. This might be what I need. Const cast, okay. Const cast is okay here since we are explicitly in edit mode. Oh, this is for... Should all this editor code be in an editor module? A good question. Yeah, that's that is something. Shit. Maybe that's not what we need then. Fuck, I really don't want to just like respawn this thing. That just seems really dumb. That's helpful. What is this? Replicated data for geometry collection when B enabled replication is true. What is this? Clusters.reset. Same as empty. Oh, is this just the T array? Yeah, okay, got it. Shit. Yeah, I don't need any of this. Just need a pointer to the geometry object so I can change it. Did not mean to click that. I'm surprised that there's not a lot of questions about resetting a geometry collection back to its original position. Yeah, I do have it. Or else I couldn't even fucking use it. Thing is, this is a geometry collection component. I wonder how I can get the actual geometry collection. See, this is like the shit that they really don't have a lot of documentation on, and they kind of just expect you to dig deep into it and figure it out, which is cool and all. Sometimes it's a really dumb shit. Is this not a collection? New geometry collection. It is. Do not have... That's not what I wanted. Is it const? Fucker, it is. And this is private. Almost guaranteed, right? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm working on this on the spot with you guys. I'm trying to figure out how to just reset a fucking geometry collection. Typically this stuff would be pretty easy. But they love hiding things. I use documentation as much as I possibly can. But usually reading the actual like engine code itself can be more beneficial to doing shit like this. I mean, this right here. This provides us with an F geometry collection edit. So is this what I want to use? And this gives me access to this. Okay. Am I reading this right? And this defaults the component at rest collection. What do you do? If component, we go component rest collection. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's a way in. See if it works. What do we need? Geometry collection, E, edit, update, rest physics dynamic. Is that important to me? Rest. And this is what, bitwise? Mark the rest of the collection as changed, recreate the physics state, reset the dynamic collection. Mark the rest collection as changed and recreate the physics state proxy. Reset dynamic collection, mark the rest collection as changed and recreate the physics state. So we would want this, I believe. Rest physics dynamic. Oh, okay, so it's already like that for us. Shape is unchanged. I don't know. So I'm kind of speaking out loud here on this. When we do this and it does this rest physics dynamic, is this being like, do I have to call a function to have this happen, or is this something that's being queued up? It doesn't look like anything's really happening with it, so I have to manually do something. Is what I'm seeing here. So, alright, let's see if this works. Holy shit. Man, when we make like earthbending abilities and stuff, and I have to like reset a bunch of the collections for that, I might as well just make a fucking library to use. So I don't have to go through all this shit. This is a pointer. We kind of want to make sure that this is not null. All right. Now reset bridge. I don't want to use a bunch of delegates in this. I would rather have our environment controller handle resetting everything for us when the match is over. Because that's the whole point of why I built this. So we are just going to make a function in here for it. Probably right here, actually. What the hell did I name it? A Ice Canyon Bridge. I might change that later. We actually want a T array of this. Right here, all we're going to do is just iterate over every bridge first. Make sure that it is not going to crash your game. And then we'll call that function we just made. And this wants to happen at round end. Like that. Okay. So this is just one part of this. We also need the bridge to reset the moving components. Well, so we'll make another function inside bridge for that. We can make this like really easy, by the way, by not relying on just like zeroing out all of our variables on the transform. We can actually just grab a copy of the transform when the game starts and then just set it back to that instance. Because if we make any changes where we like move it around or tweak like the position, we don't want to go back in here and like manually hard code that shit in. That sounds terrible. So I'm gonna make a transform for bridge default position. And in begin play, we'll just make a copy of our current mesh position. saying get static mesh, but I think you want to grab the transform. Yeah, it's get component transform, I think. And let me just double check that's what we're actually changing here. I believe all we're doing is just moving. It actually might just be the rotation. Which is, if that's the case. Yeah, it's just the rotation. So I mean, honestly, I can just grab the rotation of this and just change the rotation of the bridge itself back to its starting position. Okay. I'm gonna make a note here as well. Then out with an R. All right. That all looks pretty good. Reset all bridges is being called above. Yeah, round in. All right. Let's compile here. Uh-oh. Thought I used it here. Yeah, it's right there. Just not forward declared. There we go. All right. See if this actually works. Okay. Destroyed. Do it to that one too. Intermission happens. Ah, okay. Happen. Uh-oh. I never selected the bridges in our environment controller. Okay. That would probably be a reason. All I'm doing is just going into the settings here and using the little eyedropper to select our bridges here. Okay, let's save this. Crash? Ah, there it is. Okay. Why? Oh, don't tell me I closed out of it. No, I didn't. Alright. Attempting to buffer geometry collection transform buffer with size 0. Oh, okay. Now, is this... Oh, might be a replication thing? I didn't actually think about that. Oh, it's right there. Geometry collection edit. Oh, whoops. I thought I saw something in here about replication. It's not. Hmm. Maybe I'm looking at this from a not a great angle. Or I'm just like misreading what this is actually doing. Because what this looks like is it's almost like just deleting the geometry collection entirely. Unless, oh no, wait, hold on, construct. I mean, that's promising. Just modify. Okay. I'm gonna try this just as a listen server. Did almost 3 hours. I mean, we got rid of a bunch of like bugs that were really pissing me off earlier. Mainly that warm-up time one. I actually wouldn't have caught that if I didn't specifically search for the player state and logs. I'm just glad I actually put those logs in. Definitely helped. Alright, let's play this just as a listen server. Shit, I don't know if the round actually resets with just one person, now that I think about it. Yeah, I don't think it does. Does it call round end? I don't think it does either, hey? No, alright, real quick, let's make that happen. Where is our game mode? Yeah, check remaining teams is what's stopping us. Yeah, if team data list.num equals 1, we actually want this to be less than 1 or less than equal to, just for this. That should allow the game to continue rounds even with just one player. Okay. Crash still happening with one person. Yeah, it's definitely not the way to do it then. Damn. I mean, is there something where we can just construct a new one and mark the other one as dirty to get rid of it? Hmm. Don't look like it. Weird. I wish. The the documentation for this was just a little bit better. I mean, I will say one thing. They definitely have been trying to improve at least the look of the documentation, because like shit, I mean, if we go back to the previous engine versions of this shit, like come on. It's a little bit more organized. So I guess like what we need to look for is the rest geometry, or the fucking, what's it called? The rest state of the collection. It's funny because like the whole point of like a geometry collection is to like blow something up and like make it like shatter into a million pieces. But right now what we're trying to do is essentially just glue it back together after we already destroy it. So it's a bit weird. Rest collection. Yes, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like this function does work and it's getting called. If I just commented this out right here, it would work just fine. But that geometry collection is like a super important part of the map itself. So it's not something that I can just ignore. But I mean, we're getting really fucking close being done with this. So we can do a playtest finally. Been like a month and a half, 2 months since the last one. And I'm excited to do some arena matches. Yeah, this thing right here. Ooh, wait a minute. Enable runtime data collection. I don't think that would work. Shit. I might have to do a lot of research on this, because it's not as clear cut as everything else in the map. So I might skip this part for now, move on to something else. We're pretty much on this. This probably won't happen until tomorrow. We have to add in static meshes, so what we're going to be doing is polishing the roads and sculpting them a bit. And then we're going to be adding in like rocks here maybe, or like towers. Some type of like structure. Just to add some more complexity to the map. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? We're almost done. What did the simulation actually... Oh, it looks like it did. How many levels do I got? I have 3 maps right now. This is the 3rd multiplayer map that I'm working on. This one's almost done. What we did was, we have these bridges where you can destroy like the base of them and they tip over for you to like cross over. But, you know, that was like cool and all. But I was like, oh, let's add something else to make it a little bit more fun. So what I did was I added an event where like a, almost like a snowstorm like blows through the center of the map. And if you're caught in it, it actually kills you. It's up, Fanberg. After playing the entire mobile game market the past 3 months, they make do. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'm kind of doing the same thing. A lot of the assets here, I just take and completely redo them. I just found a 6-month-old lurking bug. Never tried that before. What bug did you find? It really is. Like, Dark and Darker is another game that reused like a lot of free assets on the Unreal Marketplace. And they changed it up a lot. I had made a typo in my error check my renderer. Oh, RIP. How many crashes did you did you go through before you figured out what it was? This also, this whole map kind of works like a almost like a train system. You can kind of see how the moving parts work if I show you from the sky here. I can click on my environment controller. Almost like a train track. So you have like the actual blizzard blowing through here with an audio component attached on the front of it. And what happens is it resets back to the beginning. It'll start coming through, and when it reaches this point here, it connects with the collision box, which gets moved into place. And then after a small delay, the collision box moves away. And that collision box is what kills players if they touch it. Took about 5 minutes of debugging. So now if it hits that error again, it won't crash. And it's handled how it's supposed to. Hey, there you go. You're debugging faster than I am. One other thing I added was the bridges themselves actually alert you when it's dangerous to cross, because it was really hard to tell with like Niagara particles when the collision box was actually out of the way or not. So what I did was, when the bridges are within the box itself, they'll light up blue, and when they're out, they'll default or turn back to their default color, symbolizing it's good to go. I only debugged that fast because my ID, yeah, IDE was useful. The bug was relatively close to the crash. What IDE do you use? Because Visual Studio can be a hit or miss with that. Not the most reliable thing. It pisses me off a lot. It actually hit you. Nice. Dude, I have... my biggest pet peeve with Visual Studio is it will autofill text, right? And I'll be like, oh cool, that's what I want to use. I'll hit enter. It'll unhighlight the thing that it was going to select, and I just end up making a fucking space like this. And it doesn't even like put the text there. It did that to me like 7 times today, dude. My keyboard, I showed it mercy, but I really didn't want to. What's my favorite mobile game? Have I heard of... oh, Rider? Yeah. Are you saying Rider the IDE? Or are you saying there's a mobile game named Rider? Because I heard of Rider the IDE. I had a function to ensure everything was all right, but I found... god damn it, text. Found that it returned true when things weren't all right. And then I went into the function like everything is all right here. A vertex capacity and index capacity variable. Then maybe I initialized the capacity, it's the wrong size, and that was the case. Yeah. That kind of shit will definitely cause fucking problems. Oh, for coding? Yeah. So I tried Rider, and honestly, like, I complain about Visual Studio a lot on this channel, but fuck, it's a hateful love, I guess. I hate it, but I love using it. I just wish it would work for me like it does for other people, or at least that I see. I used the vertex capacity by accident and the index capacity, so they were equal, which is a problem. Yeah, that's not good. The indices would definitely be off, I believe. It's because I used fixed size buffers. Still do. So graphics, like, frame by frame graphics processing like that is like so beyond me in terms of like complexity. I'm just like a simple simple, humble C++ programmer. Oh, just rendering 2D. Yeah, I've seen people like code out full shit in like OpenGL, and I'm just like, holy shit, that's crazy. I can't. I'll just use something pre-built for me. Why do you code so slow? You should be speed typing. Yeah. Not right now. I mean, like, right now I'm not really focusing on coding. But, yeah. When I'm in the zone, man. That's for sure. I did some basic 3D, but I can't do more than the basics. I used Direct 3D 11, or, oh, Direct 3D 11 or DirectX. I tried using like Vulkan, and they are really, really fucking anal about how you write anything. So I gave up on that and moved to Unreal Engine. It was a good choice at the time. Started following a tutorial, and then after a while I could stand on my own 2 feet. Yeah, that's how programming goes. I mean, you kind of know the drill where you learn one thing, or you learn how to solve like one problem, then you learn how to solve like a couple more problems, and then like you can find like the connections between other problems with ones you solved previously, and it just makes everything a lot easier. I've reused a lot of the same code in a majority of my projects just because it's a comfortable way of doing things, and I know it will work. Like, I know it will work. That makes sense. Copy pasta master. Oh, absolutely, dude. You should see. I've stolen so much code from my RTS project for this when I was like doing AI stuff. I was totally copying and pasting that shit. There's no way in hell I was rewriting like all of my AI movement components, because character movement is like super heavy on AI. And I'm not rewriting like my fucking pathfinding algorithm, which is honestly just like a modified A star, but it's multi-threaded. What I'm doing for fun right now is to create my own UI from scratch. I just work on it from time to time. The most annoying thing by far has been Windows API. I'm so terrible at that API. Oh, you and me both. Many games have similar mechanics also, so it makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I mean, companies hire you for experience, and usually your experience comes from like making a handful of games that are vastly similar to what they're going to be making. Or if you can just solve complex problems. My problem is this goddamn geometry collection not resetting. What I'm going to do is comment this out and just double check to make sure this works. 99% sure it will. It has so many weird quirks because of that backwards. Oh yeah, backwards compatibility. Yeah, legacy code. Oh yeah. I mean, shit, it's been something that's been in development for so long. So I could definitely see how that's a problem. I remember people working on like Xbox games also complaining about that shit too. But I didn't really have any proof of it. Okay, let's load in 2 clients here and test this out. I'm gonna destroy a bridge and see if it resets. Which, I mean, it should. It just adds to the complexity and the amount you need to learn to do simple things properly. Oh, dude, I know. My brain only has so much capacity. And trying to learn, like, particle systems, physics, like all that shit, it becomes a lot. Because they all use different frameworks. Been learning C++, and what weirds me out is how many different ways, oh yeah, to solve things. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty free language in terms of like how you get stuff done. They give you a lot to work with, but it's a double-edged sword because you could totally shoot yourself in the foot with a lot of shit. Makes me feel like I'm never right even when I pass a test. That's how it happens. Alright, yeah, the bridges are resetting. I mean, I kind of knew that was going to work out. It's just the fucking geometry collections. Goddamn things. We'll fix it though. I don't even think it... Yeah, that's not going to. That delicate doesn't proc. Yeah, the makes me feel like I'm never right even when I pass a test. I don't think anything I'm doing right now is right. And I'm going to be honest with you, 99% of people that program will say something similar, because there's not like a right way to do it. There's a lot of ways to do something, but at the end of the day, it really depends on like how quickly you can get something done. I mean, there's shit that I've spent like weeks on before, so maybe I'm just a hypocrite. The amount of bugs I have made by accidentally modifying references or not using a reference. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That's also a big problem. I luckily find them easily, but I mess up so frequently. Like when there's a bug in my code, it's the first thing I double check. Yeah. Pointers are another thing you can totally destroy your code with. I mean, pointers are a lot more lenient than references are, that's for sure. You can get tangled in a maze of references very quickly. I mess up references more because pointers have a different syntax. Yeah, that's fair. They also have like a different way of working, whereas like a reference is just an alias to a point in memory, and a pointer's actually just a completely different variable. But it points to it. Yeah, in the beginning, like that shit, when I first started learning C++, I think that was the hardest thing to like really comprehend, was like, what the fuck is the difference between a reference and a pointer? And then like one day I was like reading something on Stack Overflow by some condescending bastard. I mean, most people that comment on that website are. And he explained it pretty well. But he was super condescending. What a good teacher. So it clicked with me ever since then. It is almost 7 o'clock. Holy fuck. 3.5 hour stream. What's the difference between a pointer and a reference? A pointer is a variable, so it creates like an actual variable that holds a memory address in it, where a reference is literally just like, you can think of it as like a nameplate, like a different name, but it goes directly to that memory address. Pointers can be reused, references cannot be. So like you can assign a pointer to an object and then be like, oh fuck, wait, I want to actually assign this to a different object of the same type later on. References, you can't do that. Once it's made for that memory address. I want to make this splitter object right now, as I want to learn how to resize efficiently. Yeah. Memory allocation is a really big thing. Unreal Engine handles a lot of that for me, so I don't really have to worry about it too much. Unless I'm like using like their ECS or anything like that, where memory is like super crucial. So pointer uses more resources? Technically no. It doesn't use necessarily more resources. Pointers are more flexible, right? Like pointers can be reused to point to other objects. A reference will like permanently just be the initial memory address that you assign it to. Store more data? No, so you got to think of it this way. They both do the same thing. It's just one of them you can recycle, the other one you can't. One of them is like, once you're done with it, you got to throw it away. And pointers can also be used to point the garbage that you mess up. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, references can get really nasty because what a lot of like beginners do is they'll make a reference to something and then they'll try to reuse that reference to try to reference something else, not realizing that all they're doing is just turning that memory address into a copy of what is at the memory address that they're referencing to. That is like really hard to explain without like showing it. Reference is very cost effective because it's one and done. I wouldn't look at these in terms of cost because they have the same exact size. Like they're both four bytes. So there's no real difference between them besides the fact that one can be assigned to a different object and one can't. They're 8 bytes on my machine. Are you using a, I believe that's because it's a 64-bit operate or a 64-bit program, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, they might be 8 bytes all around then. Actually, I haven't checked what their size is on this. I thought it was 4, but I could be totally full of shit. I might just be remembering that wrong. Sorry, trying to make mobile game fixated on cost reduction. Yeah, mobile games are really... yeah, you can't really do too much with them. They don't give you a lot of leniency on memory because phones use APUs. They don't have that CPU GPU combo like desktops and laptops have. Well, a lot of laptops, I guess. But I mean, like, shit, mobile phones nowadays can run Windows XP. I think some of them actually now can run Windows 7 with the latest APU. Oh man. I might call it here, guys, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'll be back early tomorrow. I've been working on this a lot off stream, and I'm probably going to figure out the problem with the geometry collection off stream tonight. And tomorrow, I'll just stream pretty much everything. I guess I don't really mind streaming the process of figuring out problems or anything like that, because I guess it's educational for both of us. But yeah, call it here. Be back tomorrow. If you have any questions for me, you know where to find me. Just hit me up on, you know, in the comment sections or join the Discord. So, with that being said, y'all have a great morning, evening, afternoon, night, wherever you are. And till next time. Peace.